Hello, welcome to Quackalope, and today we're setting sail into New Bedford, a game of historic whaling and town building. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing during the solo playthrough of this game. Now this is typically a multiplayer game, but there is a solo variant. And the way that works is every one of these player boards actually has its own individualized captain on the back, which has a specific set of turn orders and character actions that make them unique. Now, New Bedford is a worker placement and resource management style game. During the first phase of this game, we'll be placing workers, building buildings, preparing ships, and setting sail. We'll then be moving back towards the dock, whaling as we go, collecting whales which score victory points towards the end of the game. Now, in order to win, you want to have the most victory points by the end of the game. You score victory points by one of three ways. Either collecting whales, which we pull from this randomized bag here, bringing them back and being able to pay for them upon arrival. You also collect victory points by building buildings, one for every building you have. Some of the buildings have a bonus, the ones with a dark border around them, and having coins. Every 5 coins are worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. Now, this game was recommended to me when I was at my local board game store here in DC called Labyrinth Games and Puzzles. One of the workers was telling me that this is his favorite single-player game, so I thought I'd purchase it, give it a try, give it a run through. So far, I'm really liking it, although I do have to be honest, the solo rules are a little bit confusing and they're not clearly laid out here in the book. I have had to go onto the Board Game Geek forums and double check a few things and try to make sure that I'm following the worker orders as accurately or closely as possible. Once you get the rules, it's a little bit easier to understand, certainly easier to follow. I'm just still kind of getting to that point. So there is a reasonable chance that I may make rules mistakes in this video. If that's the case, I'm sure I or someone else will have commented in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to pin it to the top. So if you're watching this to learn how to play this game, feel free to check in the comments and the description down below just to see if I've updated or pinned anything to the top comment section about any mistakes I might have made while playing this game. Whatever the case, let's go ahead and set sail, see exactly how this game plays, and I'll kind of teach you as we go along. So to start, in terms of my board setup here, I have all the buildings which I'm able to build. They say their costs down at the bottom, and they say exactly what their action does up at the top. I have the starting town, which is our first starting positions. They're also free to use. Once we have built buildings, it actually costs us to use another player's location. I have our round tracker here. We'll start off at 1. I also have the dockyard where you prepare ships, the city pier where you launch ships, and the ocean tracker, which is where you count back towards returning ships. Here on the captain's board, I have the captain, his meeples, his ship. I have this little round dial here, this wheel, and to start off the captain, we'll start this dial on the far left side. I'll roll a dice, which I rolled 1, which means the captain's dial will start there at the 1 position. Along with that here, Captain Flask has a very specific set of captain's orders. This determines the way he'll interact with his wheel, how he'll make decisions when a conflict arises or when he's unable to do something. He also has very specific rules for playing. He may catch no more than 14 whales and build no more than 4 buildings. -1 for each sperm whale already caught. So that's the captain's board. I'll move over to my board here. This shows returned whales, which I've bought and paid for, my meeples, my ships, which will be setting sail, and up here I have stored goods. I get to start with $5 worth of goods. Bricks are worth 2, hardtack, which is your food or your biscuits, and wood are worth 1 each. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with 1 brick, 1 wood, and 2 hardtack. Now I do have the rulebook sitting right next to me. There is a chance I will reference this at different stages in the game. I certainly hope I won't, but we'll see what happens. If I'm not confident on something, I'm definitely going to be giving that a peek. I'll go ahead and start with the captain here. So in the solo variant of this game, the captain always starts first. So I'll roll the die, goes 1 space down. So this indicator here says that he's going to prepare a ship, so that'll go up here into the dockyard as a ship that's ready to set sail. Then I get to place my meeple, and I want to take a look at what I can build over here to see if there's something specific I kind of want to go after. At first glance here, I like the idea of going after the wharf. That allows me to launch a ship for half of the normal food cost, so I'll be able to get out to the ocean a little bit quicker. I will play here in the forest, which will give me 2 wood, and because I'm the first player here in the forest, I'll get 1 extra wood for that action. So I get 3 lumber over here in my resource. Come over here to the captain. Captain has 2, so he's going to do a money action. So he's going to try to place his meeple. This should have been here in the dockyard. So he's going to do a money action. He's going to try to place his meeple in a location that generates income for him. So here at the top of the captain's orders, he first checks his buildings, which he has none. He then checks the community's buildings. Now, none of these community buildings actually generate money. So then he's going to go down here. He would change his heading to money if possible. It's already at money, so that doesn't matter. He checks the inn and the lighthouse, neither of which are built. He checks the opponent's buildings to see if any of them generate money. They don't. The reason he checks the opponent's buildings last is because he has to pay $1 to use my building, which I would just take from the resource pool since the captains don't actually use resources or money throughout the course of the game. Then it goes over here. If we're in round 1 through 6, he changes his heading to food first and then brick next. So food, we come up here to Flask's building. Flask still has no buildings built, so he goes to the community buildings, and here the farm provides 3 food for placing a meeple there first. So that's the location he's going to pick. Then comes back to me. I have a decision to make. I could go ahead and build that wharf, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do. So I come here, this says that I can build, and since I'm the first person here to use this, I can spend 1 less resource in order to build it. So I'll spend 3 wood and keep my brick, and go ahead and build the wharf down here in my corner. Now this game is divided into 4 phases and 12 rounds. The first phase is the action phase, that's what we just did, where you prepare ships, build buildings, place your meeples, collect resource, buy and sell, things like that. The second phase is going to be the movement phase, where ships that are out to sea start returning home. Currently we have no ships out to sea. Third phase is going to be the whaling phase. That's where we draw whales from this bag here. We place them out and let the farthest ship out select their whale first, and so on and so forth. And then the fourth phase is going to be the cleanup phase. We are able to do the cleanup phase. I return the meeples to everyone's board, including my own. If there were any buildings that resulted in end of round scoring or end of phase scoring, we would resolve them now. I don't believe any of these buildings do. And we'll go ahead and move this tracker down to round 2. We'll start with Captain Flask here and roll the die. 2. This says on rounds 1 through 6, we're going to build a building. So the buildings he's looking for are the dry dock, tavern, distillery, brewery, or the captain's house. Now, not all of these buildings are going to be available in this version of the game. Some of them are expansion buildings, and some of them are for the 3 to 4 player variants, because you can actually play with multiple captains, or you could play with multiple players and add a captain in for a little bit more of a challenge or variety. So he will build this building based on how I have this randomized here. So we're looking for dry dock, tavern, distillery, brewery. So the first building here on that list is going to be the dry dock. So the captain's going to build the dry dock up here in this corner. What this dock does, it'll allow them to prepare a ship for 2 and then set sail at cost. So that's now a building that he's able to use. And I would have to pay him $1 or pay the bank $1 in order to utilize that space. So this is his action. He moves there. And I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I would like to do. Another thing I would really like would be the bank, but to start, I'm going to go over here, and for 1 wood, I'm going to go ahead and get a ship prepared, just so he doesn't get out to ocean before me. Goes over to the captain's turn. We roll 1 die. He's going to prepare, and then if he can't prepare, he's going to launch a ship. But because he's built the wharf, he's going to check his buildings first. The wharf is available, so that means he would actually go here, where he would spend 2 wood, set sail at cost. So he's going to go ahead and get a ship out into the ocean. So I'll go ahead and roll this dice. The way that Captain Flask sets sails is when launching a ship, roll a die and add 3 to the placement. So I rolled a 2, so he goes ahead and sends a ship out all the way down to 5. So now it's my turn with my last meeple, and I could set sail, but I only have 2 food, so the max I would be able to go out is 4. I think I'm going to go to the farm here, go ahead and collect 3 more hardtack, which are hard biscuits that they used to set sail with. And that ends the action phase of this game. Now we can actually resolve the movement phase and the whaling phase. So in the movement phase, his ship moves 1 back towards the city pier. In the whaling phase, we draw 2 tokens because it's how many ships are out plus 1. So we drew a right whale and another right whale. So Captain Flask is going to go ahead and select the highest value whale, which is going to be the right whale here. And this whale stays out until the beginning of the next whaling phase, because there are some buildings that affect how you can interact with either found whales or ocean tiles. So we'll do the cleanup phase. This moves down to 3. Our meeples come back onto our boards, and we're ready to roll for the captain again. 3, 1, 2, 3. He's going to prepare and launch. So all he has to do is go up here and launch, and he will send a ship out. The die roll plus 3. So he's sending a ship out 4 spaces. So he comes here into second position, 4 spaces down. I can go ahead and use my own building to launch for half the price. So I'm going to spend 3 of my hardtack and launch my ship 6 spaces down, which means I'll get to select whales first when we get to the resource pool. Go ahead and roll for Captain Flask again. He rolled a 1. Which means he's going to try to build a building. Now he can only build 4, remember? So this will be his second one. He's looking for the Tri-Works, Cooperage, Schoolhouse, Lighthouse, and Inn. Well, I can already see the lighthouse up here in the corner. So that's what he's going to go ahead and build. It's my turn now. I have 1 more position I can place a meeple in. I think I want to try to go ahead and get that bank, because $5 per round whenever I'm able to use it is going to be pretty valuable, and he likes to collect money. So if that gets onto the board, he'll end up using it and hogging it quite a bit. So I'm going to go here to the warehouse. I'm going to go ahead and collect 2 brick, and that's the end of the action phase. We'll go on to the movement phase. These ships come back. My ship comes back 1. This goes back into the bag, and because we have 3 ships out there, I'll be drawing 4 tokens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I drew 3 right whales and 1 ocean token. So I'm going to take a right whale. Each of them will take a right whale, and that ocean token will stay out there for now. Now it goes to the cleanup phase. All the meeples return. This moves down to number 4. And I go ahead and roll for Captain Flask again. 2. 1, 2. It says here that he wants to prepare and launch. Since he can't do that action, I move up to the top of the captain's orders. The top of the captain's orders say that he's going to first try to find money. If he can't find money, he's going to look for the inn and then the lighthouse. Now Captain Flask has built the lighthouse, so he's going to go ahead and take that position, which means he gets to move 1 of his ships back 1 space and into the first position. It's my turn now. I have a meeple. I think I'm going to go ahead and build that bank. So I'm going to go here to the build action. I get to build 1 building for 1 resource less, which means for these 3 brick that I have, I can go ahead and build the bank, which will provide me 5 coin every time I use it. Go ahead and roll for Flask. Roll the 2. Again, he's going to not be able to do the prepare or launch action, which means he's going to look across the board and first try to find money. He's already used the lighthouse, and nothing else generates money. That's wrong. He's going to look across here. Nothing else would have generated money except for now the bank does generate money. So he's going to play on the opponent's position, which gives me 1 coin because he has to pay me to use it, but he does use that space this turn. It comes over to my turn, and I would have used that bank this turn. I'm going to go to the farm, go ahead and get a little bit more food so that I can launch a ship, so I can prepare and launch a ship a little bit quicker. I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to go to the warehouse instead, so I'll take 1 food, but I'll take 1 wood so that I'm ready to prepare and launch. So that's the end of this action phase. We'll come to the movement phase. These ships start meandering their way back home. This ocean tile pops right back into the bag, and we draw 4 more whales. So let's see here. We are still getting a lot of right whales. 3 more right whales and another ocean token. So I will take 1 of these right whales. And so will each of these guys. So he's already up to 5 whales, and he can only have a maximum of 14. This ocean token stays out. Then we go to resolving our phase. These guys come back. This guy moves down to 5. And I roll for Captain Flask again. 1, money action. So he's going to check his own units, which he has none. He's going to check the town's units. None of them provide money. He's then going to come down, change his heading to money, which it already is at, check for the inn and the lighthouse. So before he comes to mine, he's actually going to place a meeple here on the lighthouse and move one of his ships 1 space back. The best movement for him would be moving on to first place there. So he's actually ahead of me, which means he gets to choose the most valuable whale when we draw from that bag, which I don't like because there's some really valuable sperm whales in there, and I really don't want him to catch them. So it'll be my turn. Now, one thing I have to pay attention to is I actually have to pay for these whales when I get home. So, I'm not getting home for a few rounds. I'm going to start off by preparing a ship. So moving that there. This guy will go up here into the waiting period. We'll roll for Flask. Got a 2 there. Prepare and launch. He's not able to do that. He will look for money. He will check for the inn and the lighthouse, neither of which are available right now. He'll check opponents, so he'll go here to the bank. He'll place here on the bank. He pays me 1 for using that space, but that means I don't get to use it. I wasn't planning on using it, so I think that's okay. Then it's my turn. I am going to go ahead and go to the wharf here. I'm going to launch for half the price, so I'll spend 6 of these and go ahead and get a ship all the way out to 6th place. We then go to the movement phase. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the draw bag, and this time we're going to be drawing 5 tokens. And because we're drawing so many, there's a increased chance that we'll get something good, which is what I'm hoping for. So this time we got a lot of bowhead whales and an open ocean. I, of course, am going to take a bowhead whale. Then it comes down to the captain. The captain's going to take a bowhead whale. I will take another bowhead whale. That should have been switched to start with. And then the last guy here is going to take one of these right whales. And this ocean token will get left out here on the sea. Let's see here. We resolve that stage, go down to 6, return our meeples, and go ahead and let the captain go first again. 2, 1, 2. So he's going to do a money action. Since there's nothing that pays in the town or his buildings, he'll do his lighthouse action again. He'll go ahead and move this ship down 1. Then it's my turn. I already have both my ships out there. So the question is, do I want to start focusing on building something else, or do I want to go straight to the bank and earn some money? I need to be able to pay for my whales, so I'm going to go to the bank, earn 5 coins, roll for the captain again. He's going to prepare and launch. He's not able to prepare and launch because he already has all his ships out here. So he's going to look at money. Nothing's available with money in lighthouse. He's going to go down to my opponent's buildings. I've already used that building, so he can't place there. And we're still rounds 1 through 6, so he's going to look for food. So he's going to go ahead and go up here and place on the food location. I would not mind building the tie works if I'm able to. So let's go ahead and go here to the warehouse. I'm going to pick up 2 more bricks. What the tie works allow me to do is they allow me to return up to 3 right whales from 1 ship for free. It would be really helpful when my ships return home. So that's my action. We'll go ahead and resolve movement. Our ships start moving down. Draw from the bag. We're going to be drawing 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did we get? Ooh, we got some good whales here. So we have 1 right whale, but we have 2 sperm whales and 2 ocean tokens. So I select first, and I'll select one of these sperm whales. Goes up here. He selects next, and he will also take one of these sperm whales, which means he can only build 1 more building because 1 sperm whale has already been caught by him. And then I will select one of these, and the ocean token prevents him from selecting any more. So those move down. We go into the maintenance phase. I return these to my deck. He returns his to his. This moves over onto 7, and I go ahead and roll for the captain's orders. 2, 1, 2. Prepare and launch. He's not able to do that, so he's going to look down here. He's going to designate the lighthouse as his place to choose. So, and he's going to move this ship out one more time, so he gets one more round with both of his ships out there in the ocean. Seems like potentially the best option, since both of the right whales that are in the bag have already been pulled. Comes to me. I'm going to go straight here to the bank, collect some money, roll for flask. 1, 2. He's going to look for food. He's going to check his docks. He doesn't have any. He's going to check the town's docks. The town has the farm still available. What am I going to do? I do want to go ahead and build the try-works. So I'm going to come here to the warehouse. I'm going to take 1 brick. Never mind. I'm not going to go to the try-house. I'm going to go to the town hall, which lets me build for 1 brick less. So 2 bricks will go ahead and build this for me. So that's the end of that round. We go to the movement phase. 1 down, 1 down, 1 down. These ocean tokens pop back into the bag here. We're going to draw another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a few of these big bowhead whales, one of these right whales, and a few more ocean tokens. Now, if you notice, we're starting to get more and more ocean tokens per round. That's because the whales are being depleted, like happens in the real world, and the ocean tokens are increasing, so you're getting more and more empty space and empty ocean. So I'll take one of these. We'll go here on this guy. He will also take one of these. I will take one of these right whales, which goes right here, and then these 2 ocean tokens just get left out for a round. Meeples return to us. This ticks down into section 8, and we start the turn again. 1 for the captain. Prepare and launch. He's not able to prepare and launch. He will select the lighthouse, so he selects that there. He's going to go ahead and move a ship back into my space, putting him in the lead, because right now he's not really doing very well with pulling extra ocean tokens, so instead selecting the best whale might be the best option for him. I'm going to go ahead and go to the bank here, collect 5 coins, preventing Flask from doing so. 2, 1, 2. So he's going to check for money. He's then going to check for the inn or the lighthouse. He's not able to do either of those. He'll check my buildings. None of them actually, one of them will provide him money, because the try-works gives him basically 6 free dollars on his next turn when this returns home. So he'll go here, he'll use the try-works, which will give me 1, but basically save him 6 coins if he was a player, and then it converts over to my turn. Let's see, I have 1 more meeple I can use. I think I would like to be able to launch at least 1 more ship, so I'm going to go up here and go ahead and pick up 3 hardtack. Okay, we go to the movement phase. So we have a returning ship this turn, which means this little guy here will go ahead and bring all of these tokens home. He then comes back to this storage area, ready to be prepared and sent out again. And then we do the whaling phase. We'll only draw 4 this time, and these ocean tokens go back into the bag. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2 ocean tokens, which is not good for me. One bowhead whale, which is what Captain Flask will take. I get one of these right whales, and it goes onto my larger ship. Nope, it goes onto my smaller ship, and my larger ship isn't able to pick up anything because of the ocean tokens. We move this down to stage 9, remove our meeples, and we'll roll the dice for Captain Flask. 1, prepare and launch. And because he has the dry dock, he's going to spend that right there. He's going to go ahead and prepare and launch a ship. So 1 plus 3, so he'll go the whole way down to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's only able to pick up another 4 whales. So that's an important thing to pay attention to. Okay, my turn. I want to use the try works, because my ship's returning home. I'd like to not have to spend $6 on all of those. Captain Flask rolls a 1. So we're on 7+, which means he's going to try to build one of these end of game victory points. The dressmaker, the counting house, the candle works, and the Seaman's Bethel. So looking through here, the first one is the Seaman's Bethel. Earn 5 extra victory points. So that's easy. That's easy victory points for the captain there, which I don't like, but that is also the last building he's able to build, because he can only build 4, -1 for each sperm whale already caught. I will go here to the forest. I will collect 3 wood, because I want to save up a little bit of wood just in case I can build the mansion there. Okay, we go to the movement phase. My ship is a returning ship, so because I did this here, I get 3 whales for free, and I have to spend $6, which I do have the money for. This is called the lay. The lay would basically be the percentage or the amount that your crew earns from setting sail with you. So it's like paying them for a good day's work, or the percentage that they get for returning the whales home. So $6 is the lay that I have to pay for these whales to return home, and they go over here into my victory points. And this ship comes back to dock. We then do the whaling phase. These 2 ocean tokens get added back into the bag. We draw 4 this turn. 2 ocean, and it looks like 2 right whales. So the captain will take a right whale. Not nice. The other ship takes another right whale, and I get nothing because I'm the last in the line. We go to the step resolve phase. This moves down to 10, and I'll go ahead and roll for the captain to go first again. 1, prepare and launch. He already has both his ships out, so it'll come here. His heading will change to money. He'll look across the board for the inn and then the lighthouse. He does have the lighthouse, so he can play right there. He'll go ahead and move this ship down 1. Next, it's my turn to go. I'm gonna go ahead and go right here to the bank, continue generating some money. Roll for the captain again. Got a 2. He's going to look for food, which means he will play right here on the farm. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get a ship out. So I will pay him 1 to use his building, and then I dock for 2 wood. No, that's not good, because I want to use this. So never mind, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the dockyard. I'll prepare this ship to launch again for 1 wood. So the next turn I could use the wharf and hopefully set sail the whole way back down to 6 again. So that's the end of that round. Do this movement phase again. We'll all start returning home. These guys will pop right back in here to the token bag. We'll draw another 4 tokens. Okay. We got 1 bowhead whale, 2 right whales, and this guy. So that'll go into the small ship. This will go into his big ship. This will go onto my ship. The ocean token will stay out there. Let's just check again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he's already collected 14 whales, which means he's maxed out. Flask, throughout the end of this game, is not able to collect any more whales. He can still go out there, he can still set sail and still select whales, he just can't score them. That's because you wouldn't honestly be able to pay for this many whales if you got way more than that. So that's the way the game kind of balances out the sell and return type of aspect of this game. We'll return our meeples. My ship's in the dockyard. This moves down to 11, and I'll go ahead and roll for Fat Flask's first turn. 1, prepare and launch. He's not able to do that, so instead he's going to go up here and select the lighthouse action. So he'll just move this guy 1 back. It's my turn. I'm going to go here to the bank to make sure that I have enough money to pay for all my whales. 1 for Flask. He's going to try to build a building. He's not able to, so he'll go up here to the captain's orders. He'll check for money. There isn't something that gives him access to money. The inn and the lighthouse aren't available. Rounds 1 through 6, he would select food. Because we're past food, he's going to be looking for brick. So he's going to place his meeple on the warehouse, which is where he could generate the most brick. Comes over to my turn. and I want to go ahead and use the wharf. I'll spend 3 of my hardtack and launch all the way out to 6th place. So that's going to end that phase. We'll do the movement phase. One of my ships will return home. Because he returns home, I need to pay for these whales. And I didn't use the try-works, so I do have to pay for all of them. So this will be 4, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I think, just luckily enough, I do have 20 coins. So I will pay the lay for all of these whales to return home. Hopefully it'll be enough to score the victory points that I need. And this little guy will come back to my dock. We'll then do the whaling phase. This ocean token goes back into the bag. We draw 4 tokens. That was the last one I drew. He is not able to collect any more whales, but he is able to like designate them or make them unavailable to me. But I'm the farthest out, so I will go ahead and pick up this bowhead whale. These guys will stay out here because they'll go back in at the beginning of the next phase. We're going to return our meeples here. This will count down to 12, so this is the last round of the game. Go ahead and roll for the captain's orders. 1. He's going to be looking for money. He doesn't have any money to designate, but instead he'll go to the lighthouse here. We'll move this down 1. I could prepare and launch a ship, but I don't have much money to pay for it. Instead, I'm going to go here to the bank. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of money so that I can at least pay for the whales that I'll be bringing home this turn. Captain goes down 1. He'll prepare and launch if he can. He's not able to do. He'll check for money. I've already used up the 1 money space available, except he has a ship returning next turn. So he'll go here to the try-works. He'll pay me 1 coin, but he'll save 6 when that ship returns. What would benefit me the most? Is there a building I could build? There is. So I'm going to go here. No, I couldn't build that. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay 3 coins. You can see here that I can pay 3 coins for 2 food or 3 coins for 2 wood. I'm going to go ahead and pay those 3 coins for 2 food. I'm going to go to the town hall to build. I'll spend 2 wood and 2 food because I get to do it 1 cost less to build the counting house, which gives me a +1 victory point for every 2 right whales I have. So that should be a few extra victory points here. So that's the end of the action phase. Next, we're going to resolve the returning phase. Our ships start moving down. These guys go back into the bag. And one of his ships, the largest ship here, returns home with an entire stack of whales. We're going to draw 3 this time. I get first pull, so we'll pull one of these right whales. These 2 will go back into the bag. Now, just to note, I did do a slight oversight, which wasn't actually negative because it happened anyway. On the 12th round here, there's a special set of circumstances that Flask would have done. He would have built a victory point building, which he actually did, and then he would have set sail if he was able, so he could get that final round of scoring. Now we've done the final round of scoring. Now all our ships are going to do the movement phase until they fully return home, because this is the end of game round, and I don't collect any more whales than what I just collected for that last round. So his ships return, dropping another 2 whales onto his stack of 14. My ships return, and I have to lose 1 of them, because I can't afford it. So I'm going to pay 5. I'll get 1 penny back for the bowhead whale, and this right whale will just be lost. So now it's time to add up the points and see exactly where we stand. I'll start with my victory points. So I get +1 for each 2 right whales, so that'll be 3 because I have 6, and then each one is worth 1. So that's a total of 9 points. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then I get 1 victory point for each building that I have built. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's a total of 25 points for myself. I have no money, so I don't generate any points from money. We'll go over here to the captain's orders and see if I was able to beat him. So he gets 5 right away from the Seamen's Brothel, along with 3 from each building. So that's 8 points. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So, 29 points to 25 points. I did not win this game, but I had fun playing it, and I'm definitely going to take another swing at some of these other captains. And soon I'll be having some multiplayer, like full, not just me, board game videos coming out. So stay tuned, stay connected. Let me know if you'd like to see anything else on the channel. Thank you for watching. This has been a Quackalope solo gameplay. We're still figuring out exactly what we're doing on the channel, so stay tuned. There's a lot going to be happening soon. Some things to keep an eye out for. I'll be releasing weekly videos, and here in the next month or so, I'll actually have a fully dedicated setup studio space, which will give me a much larger table than this one that I'm using currently. That means that I'll be able to have anywhere from 4 to 6 people come over some evenings, maybe drink some beers, have some pizza, and sit down and play a game like this, and record the entire experience for you all to enjoy. It'll be a little bit more high energy and probably slightly more entertaining to watch someone play a multiplayer game instead of me lose to myself. Whatever the case, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you watched the whole way to the end, you might as well subscribe. I mean, you've already put in, what, 40 minutes of your time? I appreciate it. Thank you. Once again, get out there and play some games. We'll see you on the next episode.